Consider the following statements. Clive banned private trade and acceptance of presents by the company servants, and these measures were intended to reduce corruption and restore administrative integrity. Which of the following statements is correct? Now we know. See, if you might have read, you know that someone in the British administration, someone at the higher level had banned the private trade of the company officials. Why? Because they wanted to. Why? Because they wanted to reduce the corruption and they wanted to increase the integrity there. Okay, so they wanted to increase the integrity there. However, what is going to be the scenario here, that who is going to be the person who is going to be doing that? So it is going to be Clive himself. Okay, so Clive had done that particular thing. Okay, so here if you can recall, I means statement 1 is what? Statement 1 is supplementing the statement 2 is supplementing the statement 1. That is what we know. Okay, he banned it. Why? Because he wanted to maintain the administrative integrity there. Okay, so the answer here, it is going to be both the statements are correct, and the statement 2 is the correct explanation of the statement 1. Okay, so that is going to be there, which we understand. Then, which of the following statements correctly describe the society of trade formed by Clive? Okay, formed by Clive. What do you think here? What do you think here? Okay, what do you think here, that what would be the answer of this particular thing? In this, the answer here, if you here also what you can do is that you can generally go on with the eliminative aspect. Okay, means see, not many of us, or not many of generally have studied the things in detail. Okay, but here it can be done through the eliminative practice. Now, which of the following statements correctly describe the society of trade formed by Clive? What is it? Society of trade. Okay, society of trade. Now, it monopolized trade in salt, betel nut and tobacco. All right. It was designed to compensate company servants for the loss of private trade. Okay. It was approved and expanded by the Court of Directors in 1766. All right. It was eventually abolished due to public suffering and the oppositions, you know, and the oppositions, uh, public suffering and and the official opposition. Now, what do we see here? What is the generalistic understanding that we can have here? That society of trade, which was formed by Clive. Society of trade, why? To benefit the Britishers. That is the society of trade. And if they have to benefit the Britishers, so a monopoly in certain plantation products would obviously benefit the Britishers. So here, in a generalistic understanding, obviously they would have monopolized betel nut, salt and tobacco, because it would have benefited the Britishers, right? Monopoly in something. The Britishers were about monopoly. So that is what logic we can apply here. So this is correct. It was designed to compensate company servants for the loss of private trade. Now you just think, in the company, in the company level, in the company level, private benefit, it is very much important. Okay, now when the private benefit is very much important, so here what do we understand? Okay, that that if there is going to be the loss of company servants, okay, if there is going to be the loss to the company servants, obviously these particular people would be demotivated to work. So here what does it happen is that the company would try to compensate them. So with that logic you can also correct this. So even this is correct. It was approved and expanded by the Court of Directors in 1766, and it was eventually abolished by public due to public suffering and official opposition. Now because of the monopoly, this thing, it is somewhat supplementing. Okay, this is supplementing this. Okay, so fourth will be correct. But here, now see, these two statements, they are somewhat dicey. Now if you have eliminated these two, okay, that means you know that both of these are correct. And if you can just correlate this supplementing this, so even this becomes correct. But here this statement, if you do not have the knowledge of it, you cannot solve it. So this statement is generally wrong, because it was not accepted, means it was not promoted by them. They disapproved it.